greatest martial artist of all time. Got UFC on the background right now. It's got Vali versus Barcelos. I'm thinking Barcelos gonna kick that guy's ass. So I revisited Batman 1989. Been a few years. I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna like this. I was a little scared going into it because I'm like, what if it's a little bit hokey, cheesy? That I'm not gonna really. That's what I was kind of remembering it as. And I watched it again. First, I gotta say, Danny Elfman's score. My God. Did that guy win an Oscar for that score? I hope he did. I doubt it, because superhero movies, the rich, uppity, up their own butt, old white guys was like, it's not a drama. So I hope. I hope I look it up. And he did. But that score is the greatest score ever given to Batman. I was thinking about the Dark Knight score, and it's an intense, like, score. But the Dark Knight score could fit in other things. Could fit like a David Fincher movie. But Batman's score feels like it was made for that Batman. It feels like it was just made for Batman. And it brings to life Gotham City. Because the set mixed with the score makes the whole city like a living thing. It's the biggest compliment in a way to the movie is Tim Burton created atmosphere. Atmosphere like nothing else. It was such a fantastic atmosphere. Batman's suit, I really like. I don't like the thickness of his mask. Because it makes it look like a mask, really, even though it is obviously a mask, but it just looks kind of like Halloween-y. But I like that suit, especially for the 80s. It wouldn't fit today, but it fit for the 80s. And that's why I like, what the fuck's that guy's name? Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer's suit is, in Batman Forever, even though that movie's stupid, his suit is kind of a sleeker, more like Michelangelo's statue, chiseled out, muscled version of the Michael Keaton suit. So it's slightly better, but the Michael Keaton suit is great. I love the symbol. I love and miss the big horns, the big ears on Batman. Look at these. Look at these right there. I don't like the Dark Knight Returns version, the Ben Affleck, like little nubs, because it makes it look unintimidating. They kind of look like Daredevil's horns, but on the back of his head. And Daredevil's horns, fit for his outfit, but Batman needs big ass fucking things. Make it look cool, scary. He's a horror character. Michael Keaton was so good as Bruce Wayne. He was very realistic, believable, and I love the martial artist moves in this movie. I felt like he could be in MMA, like UFC. He wasn't. Ben Affleck's Batman was phenomenal, and it works for a superhero movie, but his fighting is unrealistic. He's too unstoppable. He's like overpowered. And this movie, the fight scenes were good. The fight scenes in this movie, which are very short. It's him fighting the guys that he gets shot at after he zip lines Vicky Vale up to that little scaffolding area. And he fights the guys at the car. And they're like, oh, what's that? It looks like body armor. It's minus the guy front flipping into action with the with the swords. There were some realistic fight moves. It felt like real martial arts. And it was all in camera, and it wasn't like too skippy or crazy like Batman Begins. Batman Begins has the worst fights ever. It's like that joke about Taken 3, how there's 600 cuts a minute because Liam Neeson couldn't do the moves. It's exactly like that. So 1989's Batman's action is filmed much better. Batman's fight against the giant 7-foot like black guy in the bell tower. It was great, and it just felt real. He didn't feel too much like a superhero, more so like a martial artist. He didn't feel like he could kick everybody's ass, which it makes it more enjoyable when you feel like your hero of the story could lose. And I loved him getting his butt whooped in this movie a few times over by that giant guy. He gets in the plane crash and he's just all beat up, and I'm like, I love that realism to Batman. I love it to his suit, and I like that. In a way, Michael Keaton's only 5'7", so he doesn't look like the most intimidating Batman. I prefer a taller Batman, but I like that Michael Keaton looks like a guy who has a lot of money, knows some martial arts, and went out and did it. So there was a realism to a Burton film, which is weird, because this movie, everything else in this movie is so like atmospheric and Tim Burton-y. Jack Nicholson's Joker is phenomenal. I think Heath Ledger is the best Joker. I think Joaquin Phoenix is the most realistic Joker. And I think Jack Nicholson's Joker is the most entertaining to watch. His suit's ridiculous. I love everything said, how he said it. I love when he pulled out the giant cartoon gun and shot down Batman's plane. Kind of stupid, but super entertaining, and I loved it. He just dodges all the bullets like that. The story of this movie is great. The idea that Batman doesn't kill people does not exist here. He kills that guy in the bell tower. He bonks his head on the bell and then sends him down to splat like 100 stories down. And then he fucking ties Joker's leg to the gargoyle, and Joker dies. So Batman kills people. And in a way, I know it's very tied into Batman's lore that he can't kill people. I kind of like Batman killing people. It adds to the fact that he's like a horror hero. Vicky Vale's story wasn't as... I remember it being corny, and I actually was fine with it. I liked it. I like that he's... I don't like that he was willing to admit that he's Batman so easily to her. He's like, I'm Batman, I'm Batman. He wants to say it, and Alfred just lets her walk into the Batcave. I'm like, you are fired if I was Batman. But overall, I like this so much more than I remember. It's a very well-paced movie. The side characters like Knox and Vale are very entertaining. Knox is a funny guy. I kept picturing him as Bill Burr for some reason. Alfred was a very Alfred. Michael Keaton is a great, believable Bruce Wayne. And Batman's suit and Joker's suit were fucking phenomenal. And overall, just a much better movie than I think, if you haven't seen it for a few years, then you would remember it as. So I'm going to watch Batman Returns next and see how I feel about it. So I love the Dark Knight trilogy. But there's something about Tim Burton's 2 movies that are, if I remember, I'm hoping Batman Returns is as good as this one. The stylishness of it feels more like Batman and Gotham City matter. It feels like Gotham matters more in this movie. So, big fan of it. If I were to give it out of... I'll give it an A. Give it a fat A. Fat, thick A. So, comment, subscribe, and have you watched it recently? Do you remember it as great? Do you not like it? Maybe you think it's, old 80s corniness? Let me know. Comment down below. Like this video, and thank you for watching.